Hi, my name is Jay, and I'll be running Metroid Dread, any percent no major glitches for you, along with my commentators, Charlotte and Lucyna.
Hi, I'm Lucyna. I'm Charlotte.
Hi, I'm not Charlotte. I'm Lucyna.
All right. I think we're ready to go. We want to just do a countdown? All right. Let's go ahead in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
After we load in, one of the first things that's going to happen is we're going to get trapped into a conversation with Adam. There's a cutscene that leads into it that we're able to skip, but every other Adam in the game that you talk to, you have to watch this long animation of Samus walking over to the little device that Adam's plugged into, turning it on, and then you have to mash through a bunch of text. So the less we can talk to Adam, the better, because it just takes a whole lot of time.
He really just has a lot to say, and none of it's helpful.
Yeah, it's just a lot of like, oh, Samus, you can't do this, you're not good enough, you suck. And nobody needs to hear that kind of negativity in their life.
Yep. So we're going to climb up through this tower, and then at the top is one of the first actual tricks in the game. There's a little squishy red thing that we need to shoot, but it's on the other side of a wall. So we're going to perform some specific movement, and it pushes Samus's arm cannon through the wall, just like that, and lets us shoot through the terrain.
Then we have another one right here. This is a little bit different. It's called a seam pseudo. And basically what we're doing is it's kind of the same thing where we push Samus's cannon into the terrain a little bit. This one, we're trying to slide it between two blocks, basically. Like the world is made up of a lot of blocks, if you think about it that way. And if we push the missile between two blocks, it'll go through it, and then we'll shoot this red blob, which will allow us to take a slightly different route through Aranea that saves a little bit of time. Oh, perfect.
That really is the aim here.
Yeah, going fast, if you could believe it. Good strategy.
Yep.
Now coming up is a really, really hard trick. This one's a little bit more recent. This is called Emmy Bump. And basically what Jay is going to try and do is manipulate the Emmy to get onto the ceiling here so that they can use it as a sort of an object to bump backwards into to grab that ledge. That was perfect. Now We're going to need to do a melee. So let's see if they get it.
Yep. The whole conceit of the Emmy is
that was
done.
Absolutely incredible. That is so much harder than that looks. Yeah, Jay just making it look easy.
Yeah, so the Emmy zones are actually locked by default, or they're unlocked by default, but in this particular instance, you get caught by an Emmy in a cutscene, which locks all the doors. That's why we have to do the parry there.
Yeah, because the doors don't unlock until you stop getting chased, and the first time that you meet an Emmy, that specific Emmy, it chases you forever until you get to the specific scripted point, unless you counter it.
Yep. And now we've picked up Charge Beam. Charge Beam usually takes a little bit of time to charge up before we shoot it. So to save time, there are specific animations you can perform that just cut out the entire charge time and let you release instantly.
Yeah, those two big ones that you'll see throughout the run are whether you either do a spin jump. If you're like half charged during a spin jump, you'll be able to release it and it'll be a full charge. And the other one is if you release the charge during a turnaround animation, like the standing turnaround. But yeah, like right there, you saw the really fast second charge there to defeat the Musby, I think they're called.
Yes.
Perfect. I didn't think you would know that.
And now that we've done our first lap to gather Charge Beam, we're going off to visit Corpius, the first boss we fight.
First of quite a few.
Yes.
So the first phase here, we just need to hit. Oh, this is perfect. Okay, so because Jay phase shifted during this like chewing animation, basically while Corpius was starting to chew and then throw up. His head will stay down the entire second phase, which means that Jay can just shoot it very, very consistently. And with 26 missiles, you'll just skip the entire third phase, which is why we play in rookie mode. I mean, it's just more missiles is always better, but specifically for that fight, rookie mode, it gets to skip a phase that the other difficulties don't get to do.
Yep. Going through that door there, normally those lock when Samus is seen, but thanks to Corpius, we now have the Phantom Cloak, which lets her go invisible. We'll be sliding through pretty much all of these doors because cloaking, you kind of want to be stealthy, so Samus tends to kind of tiptoe around. But if you slide, she moves quite quickly.
So now we're making another little loop. This time, when we go back, I think that's the last time we were talking to Adam.
It'll be right up here.
Yeah, so, that was another thing about the Emmy boost. In addition to it just kind of like skipping a loop through Artaria, it also allows us to skip one of the times that we talk to Adam in Artaria. And the way the Adams work in this game, there's basically like a sequence of like rooms that Adam is going to be in. And if you go to one Adam room, it'll activate the next Adam room in the sequence.
Yep. So we're actually... We're getting this dialogue like one later than we're supposed to. At this point, Adam is supposed to talk to you about something else than what we're going to see here. And he will be waiting to tell us what we should have been told now forever, because we're never coming back.
Exactly. That's the power of the Emmy bump.
Yeah.
But now we're on our way to another boss. This is going to be the Aranea Central Unit, and then the Artaria Central Unit. That would be quite a sequence break.
Yep.
So this first one, it's pretty simple. We're just going to shoot it with missiles as fast as we can, and then once the armor is broken, it's just pure beam spam. The beam is uncapped in its fire rate, so you can fire it as fast as the frame rate will allow, so 30 frames, or 30 hertz. Typically, it's going to be like 15 to 20 hertz, depending on your mashing technique or which turbo controller you're using.
Yep.
But another thing about spamming the beam is if you spam the Omega cannon beam instead of just holding it, it normally fires at about 15 hertz. And so if you fire fast enough, you'll always get the first shot in the beam. And for some reason, the first shot is stronger than any of the shot that comes after it when you're holding it. So by just repeatedly pressing the button, you get that first shot that's a little bit more powerful over and over again, which allows you to kill the faceplates on the doors and the enemy faster.
Yep. That saves us time.
For a second, because I just want to announce something.
Please do.
We just hit 40K, y'all. Thank you so much.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah,
Wow.
Chat is going wild. 40K, I'm gay. I'm so happy to shout that out. And a lot of that is going towards getting some movement on that upgrade to boobs %. So let me know when I have a chance to read that, but I know that we have got a lot of dread ahead of us.
That ups to 80,085.
Yeah. 80,085. That'll be exciting. For now, dread ahead.
Yeah, we have one last little trick here in Artaria. Jay is going to be trying to skip a rail. So there's the magnetic rails that when you grab onto them, it'll like slowly carry you from one side of a room to another. That's very slow. So what Jay is going to try and do instead is manipulate the enemies in this upcoming room in such a way that they will boost them directly onto the far end of the room.
And that was it right there, and then there again.
Perfect.
Just taking the little plies and touching them a little bit, which makes Samus recoil so hard that we get somewhere helpful.
I was like seeing that room.
Knockback in this game is kind of wild.
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, you tend to get flung farther if you're holding free aim, and then also if the enemy does like a parryable attack, that tends to send you farther than if you just like bump into them.
Yep.
You can get some mad at her in some places.
And now we're in Cataris 1. The name of the game, the first time we're in Cataris, is to go and find... We touched one of them in Artaria. Little switches that just direct magma flow. Hello, Adam. Goodbye. He will not be locking us in any of his rooms anymore.
That used to be the last Adam we had to talk to, but because of Emmy Boost, we're able to skip the Adams even earlier.
Yep, he's still waiting in Artaria. So here's the first magma switch we hit. Get used to these. There are a lot in Cataris.
Yeah, we're basically just going in like a bunch of small circles in this area. Ooh, good 5-up boost.
Well done.
See, then again, that little like damage boost while you're holding free aim, sending you back farther.
Yep. Skipping more magnets there. Because it is just slow to walk on the magnet rails.
Then we're going to see a little hell run, as we call it. Sam is going to go through this room without the Varia suit, so he's constantly taking heat damage. And heat damage in this game happens like in ticks, so like every like third of a second or so, there's like a tick, a tick, a tick. Each tick increases the amount of damage it does, so it's not just constant damage over time, it like grows exponentially. So even though that only took about half of Jay's HP, they were actually very, very close to dying in that hell run. The hell run just barely works. But, you know, Jay's really good at this game. I don't know if you've noticed.
Yep. Second magma plate. We spent all this time going in this direction to turn it on. Where are we going next? Oh, where we came from.
Oh, coming up next, we have another pseudo. This one is one of the more difficult ones because you only get so many chances at it. We call it the hell pseudo.
First try.
Oh my god, Jay's on fire.
Yep, there's a generator there that we need to power on, either with one charge shot or a bunch of little shots, and we are able to send one fully charged shot through the terrain to get up to get it up and running without having to go through another little loop.
And we shoot that door on the way over, that door on the bottom, because there's some doors in this game that open more slowly than others. And so if you can open the ones that open slowly while you're on your way to doing something else, then you won't have to wait for it when you pass it later.
Yep, we did it in the first Emmy zone, we did it here, and once they're open, they stay open.
And then coming up next is a trick that we used to call Atom Skip, but now it's just the Ascending Dual Magnet Skip, which is ADM, which sort of looks like Atom. Basically, Jay is going to be trying to do a quintuple frame perfect wall jump to get onto this top magnet here. You can buffer 4 of them, so it's not quite so bad, but that's still one frame perfect trick, and it's pretty tight the whole way through, and so it was very impressive that Jay got that so quickly.
Yep. And then we are going on to hit the second generator that is powered by Samus's power beam. Right here. Just a small optimization, sending it through that little one tile wall there, instead of sliding through and then sliding back. We get to watch this very nice cutscene.
We call this lava.jar in the community.
Down it goes. So now that we've lowered the lava, we can do another wonderful little backtrack through Catarus. It's truly my favorite part of the game, where we just do these little back and forths, retreading terrain through Catarus.
Also, you saw Jay there timing a jump so that they would be able to use the magnet to get up faster. Instead of having to wait for the magnet to pull them up, they were able to catch it on the way down and do a single wall jump off of the magnet. Because the magnets, when you jump off of them, they let you turn around instantly, unlike when you do a wall jump in this game, where if you do like a wall jump on regular surface, it'll like push you far away and you can't double back without some other weird tech. But the magnets, you can just keep jumping like onto them over and over again.
Yep. We pick up this E-tank here because it just makes the game a little faster, because we can worry about damage less, which lets us play a little more aggressive when the combat comes in. Metroid Dread is a particularly combat-focused game.
Yeah, for sure.
So now we have to leave Catarus, because to destroy the Emmy in this area, which is, of course, what we're here for, we have to get the wide beam to open a door, and that is located in the next town over. So Samus is going to take the train.
There's not very many tricks in Dairon, so now would be a good time for donations.
Well, I've got so much donations, so much love coming in. Nerds65536 sends in $388, and they say, between humans, the Chozo, the Metroids, Samus has at least 4 dads and 2 moms. Shout out to all the non-traditional families out there. Y'all are valid. And also, we are seeing a lot of amazing movement on that upgrade to boobs percent. We are over 65% of the way there. We have just over $1,000 to make it. And honestly, y'all, I think we can do that because I've heard that the Emmys have some community names. And what I'm thinking is maybe chat sends in new names for the Emmys, wrong answer only, and I would love to read them out for everyone.
It's been a while since I've heard about the Emmy nicknames. We used to call them all Seinfeld characters. I don't remember which one for which.
The only one that I remember is the one we skipped, which happened in Artaria.
Yeah, because we still
the
call
only one
that
that's stuck is the broken Emmy, which is Elaine. So we call that first pseudo wave, we called Elaine skip.
Yep.
For no particular reason.
Every single Emmy in this game gives you a special power. That one is the tutorial, so its power is it gives you a little indicator on the map telling you how many Emmys you defeated.
I didn't even know it didn't show that until you fought the tutorial boss.
I also may have just received a very odd donation.
Okay.
Adam sent in $20.
All right.
He says, Samus, I had more to say to you, but I guess you don't want to talk to me. That's fine. Your abilities are currently lame. Your suit is stupid and also ugly. You'll never beat Ravenbeak, who is way cooler and stronger than you. Go home. Goodbye. I think it was good we didn't talk to Adam.
Yeah, he's kind of toxic.
That seems toxic.
That's very
Samus'
toxic.
suit is not lame and stupid. It's actually
Samus has got a real cool suit.
Yeah.
She's got quite a few cool suits, as we'll see throughout the run.
4 of them, yeah.
And now that we've collected the wide beam, we are, of course, immediately booking it back to the train so that we can go break the door that requires wide beam, fight the green Emmy, which gives Morph Ball.
Yeah, the wide beam, it seemed like a pretty simple upgrade. It actually does change the way the game plays a fair bit. Obviously, it triples your damage on like charge beam, which makes it so that charge beam combined with missiles is very high DPS in certain fights. So for the upcoming central unit fight, whereas last time we just spammed missiles at it, this time we're going to be trying to use a bunch of quick charges on the charge beam and then instantly follow up those quick charges with missiles. This technique is called Charlie Charge Missiles. It just allows you to basically double up on the damage that you do per shot.
Yep. So we use it pretty much anytime we need to break through a metal shell, which the CU has, and then once we get to its soft interior, it's beam spam.
Yeah, you'll also see the central or the wide beam enable some pseudo waves later in the game that wouldn't otherwise be doable. Just because it gives like more area to the cannon, sort of like where the shot is generated, basically.
Destroying the faceplate on the Emmy there, and then stop firing because once their faceplate hits the threshold where it will be destroyed, they have to finish what they're doing before it can blow up, which gives us a little bit of extra time to charge up.
So there's some nuances to the morph ball. One of the big things about it is that it makes it so that you get to your fastest falling speed more quickly. So whenever we have a long drop down a shaft, you're going to see Jay use the morph ball. It is a little bit slower than walking, so similar to the Phantom Cloak, how we slid through the cloak doors instead of just tiptoeing with the Phantom Cloak the whole time. Whenever we have the chance to slide into a hole rather than just like rolling into it with the morph ball, we'll choose to slide because it's faster than rolling.
Yep. Next up on our hit list is Kraid, who lives in that little lair there. But he's kind of in a little toasty area, so we need an upgrade for that.
I happen to know that we're actually... Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, I happen to know that we have met a certain incentive that makes it so that Kraid is actually not next on our list after the Varia suit.
Yes, we'll be preparing quite a bit for him. Here's a bit of Artaria that we've never seen before, because we skipped a whole lot of it the first time around.
Saw a little sneak peek of the underwater movement, which we'll get more of later when we go to Aranea.
Yep. For now, we're off to the exact opposite. Instead of a water area, a fire area. To get to the Varia suit, which allows you to navigate warm areas uncooked, we have to get to it, and that involves this dramatic little sequence where we blow up part of Artaria.
Yeah, if you take too long to go to get up in this part of the section, the heat starts rising, and you actually still end up taking heated damage. So it's kind of funny to sort of like make you go through a pseudo hell run in order to get the thing that makes it so you don't have to do hell runs.
Yep. Ooh, big explosion back there. Hope nothing's changed.
I'm sure it's fine. Now we get to see the actual best suit in the series, the Varia suit Dread.
She's
Chat,
orange
what's your
now.
favorite suit? I said, chat, what's your favorite suit? I'm sure they're all talking about it.
It's the least contentious topic, I'm sure. I'm a big fan of the power suit, which we've just lost, so I'm going to be grieving that silently.
Here you see the morph ball to fall down the shaft faster, like I was talking about.
Yep.
And yeah, so next up, for the Kraid's inside story skip, we're going to need to get bombs, because that's what the inside story is going to be all about, is getting those bombs inside Kraid. So we're going to be heading back to Dairon.
Normally, coming back through this red teleportal, we would just go straight to Kraid and fight him head on. But that's not happening today. We're taking a detour to make sure that we really get him later.
That is like the most annoying enemy in the game. The one that Jay just shot.
They sit around in places that you have to walk or just move through generally. The movement is really a very core part of the speedrun in this game. As much time as we save, like trick to trick, movement does so much work. Just getting through rooms from the point you enter to the point you need to be quickly, that saves so much time, and it really is what separates a lot of the times on the leaderboard.
Yeah, so like you see, every time Jay jumps onto a ledge, Samus does a little like quick hop to get onto the next level. That's a technique called quick rise, and it's one of the big skill differentiators in the game. Just like pressing it as early as you can and for as short of a time as you can on every single ledge that you need to climb will take minutes off of your total runtime. It's kind of like the arm pumping of this game, where it's just like this like small little thing that doesn't seem like it matters that much, but it makes a big difference over the course of the run.
Yep. Now we're coming back to Dairon for a quick little trip over to our friend the Morph Bombs.
We couldn't do this earlier because this is also going to involve us taking a little trip through a heated room. Which is, fun fact, it's one that's almost doable without the Varia suit, but it's like, because of the exponential heat ticks, like the damage doing more the longer you're in the heated room, it doesn't really work at all, because it being not quite there is not nearly enough.
Yeah, truly tragic. Goodbye, Adam. There and gone, nothing to say. Still waiting for us in Artaria.
Well, from the donation we got from him, he was very rude, so I'm not surprised.
A little single wall jump there. Charlotte, do you want to explain that one?
Yeah, so when you when you jump off a wall, like I said, it usually like pushes you far away, so you can't gain progressively more height. But when you when you go into morphball mode after a wall jump, it will kill all of your horizontal momentum, but keep your vertical momentum. And so if you go stick neutral during that, you'll be able to get the height without getting pushed away, and then you can just unmorph and turn back around. And that'll let you single wall jump. And if we fought Kraid the traditional way, that would be something that you'd see a little bit more, but we're going to see something a little funnier instead today.
Yeah. And what you saw Jay trying for a short bit there was what we call DT slide pseudo, double turnaround. We slide into the wall and turn around very quickly, and there's a split second where Samus is just close enough to the wall that if you aim to the left, you can get her arm cannon through and fire some shots through terrain.
That's the bomb.
Now we have bomb, only one.
It is weird that it called it bomb, not bombs.
It's not bombs, it's not morph bombs, it's bomb.
Yeah, now that we have our bomb, we're just going to be making our way back to Caterus as quickly as we can to go teach Kraid a little lesson.
A little lesson in anatomy, you could say.
While we move our way back to teaching Kraid some science, mind if I jump in for a second?
Oh, please do.
Because I just want to remind everybody that we have less than $1,000 left on that upgrade to boobs %. So, y'all, I know it looks like we have time. We have an hour. Are you seeing how fast we're moving through this? We do not have an hour to meet this incentive. And I may have been told that if we meet this incentive, we do have another very wild incentive for y'all. So while we do that, maybe you want to know what's going on. I know I do, but I can't tell you until we upgrade to boobs, which has become my new favorite thing to say.
Well, I mean, looking at how Samus is running, I think she's excited too.
Mm-hmm. A second duck sent in $50, and they said, had to donate during Metroid Dread. Trans rights are human, Chozo, and Metroid rights. And that is correct.
Shoutouts to Metroid rights.
Shoutouts to Metroid rights.
Shoutouts to Chozo rights.
Ooh, I feel like that is a hot debate.
We're going to show some Chozo some rights later.
A right, give him a right, give him a left, give him a right. We're going to fight a lot of Chozo in this game. Just be ready for that.
They aren't here yet, but they will be. I don't think we leave a single Chozo alive by the time that this is done.
Well, you know, I was going to argue, then I remembered how this game ends.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Maybe they got off safely?
Maybe.
There are some who theorize.
Maybe they're in... Maybe the real Chozo were the friends we made along the way. Like that thing. Our favorite friend.
Yeah, so it's, we're getting into Kraid's lair now. These, what are they? I don't know what these guys are called. Rodanathons or something.
They're annoying is what they are. They take a lot of time to kill.
Obsidomathons.
Thank you.
Yes.
They take a lot of time to kill, so it's really just quicker to walk at them, take some damage, and then during the invulnerability frames, ignore them and pass right through.
Yeah, one of many things in this game that makes it just really convenient to have a lot of health on hand so you don't need to worry about it.
Yep. Hello, Kraid. Shooting Charlies at him for the start of the fight. You can only damage Kraid in his own body, so here we can shoot into his mouth. That's phase one. And now normally you would go up there and shoot his mouth some more, but because we have bombs, we can activate a bomb launcher and throw ourselves straight into his stomach.
This is what you paid for, folks.
And that was Kraid's inside story.
Yep. By doing that, we don't have to go up the little magnet rail and shoot into his mouth some more. We can just end the fight there and then.
I think it's really nice that they included little cutscenes like that. Like, there's this kind of stuff all over the game, where it's like you can tell they thought about, you know, what would happen if you went here and you had this item instead of not having it, you know?
Yep, absolutely. So defeating Kraid has given us access to the diffusion beam, which makes it so that every time we shoot a charged beam, when it lands, it sort of explodes outward into little, like, popped bubbles that are purple, and they are random.
Yeah, so the main way that's useful is, like you saw Jay do, breaking little red blobs that are within the walls. Most blobs you can actually destroy with pseudo waves instead, but there is one that's going to be in the way of gravity suit, and that is like pretty much the only reason why we need to fight Kraid at all, is just for that one blob.
Yep, we'll call it out when it comes. For the moment, we're making our way back through another Atom room where he is quiet and doesn't talk to us like he should. So that's Speed Emmy right there, the yellow one. You can tell because it's so fast. And we don't like that, but we also can't exactly deal with it just yet. There's not really a way into the Emmy zone that leads to the central unit for the Speed Emmy anywhere within Dairon. So we're not going through Dairon.
We're going to Aranea, where we can finally see that water movement.
Like golf at all, Charlotte?
I love golf.
Okay. Oh, Jay, not much of a golfer.
Guess not, no.
Yeah, so there's a way to slide your ball into that hole without jumping into the water. It's pretty tight. It's sort of a meme in the community that you just say you're either a golfer or you're not a golfer, depending on whether or not you get that ball.
Hole in one.
Hole in one, that's what we call it. We'll have another chance later, I believe.
I have one more stroke, and then I'm not a golfer, if I don't get it.
You can still make
Pressure's on. Now we're off to Aranea. Aranea is famous for its water, as you can tell. They give you this wonderful little establishing shot of Samus arriving on the train.
Yeah, so some notes about water movement. It's faster to jump than it is to walk in water for some reason. And there's going to be these enemies that sort of like pull Samus in with suction, and Jay's going to be able to make use of that to get up to the sledge a little faster rather than going the long way. So that's pretty nice. The other ones are all pretty much strictly annoying, but that one that sucks you up is nice. Then here, Jay's going to do a slide cloak to get under that enemy without getting noticed, because that laser will block you from moving, and it does a lot of damage.
It does. It's a very tight movement there as well to get through here. As well as another Atom room where we don't talk to him. One of the only times where we have to actually crawl along the magnet strip.
It is possible to do a coyote jump, but the enemy can be annoying, and you can drop into the water. There's a lot of ways it can go wrong.
Yep.
But coming up next is a trick called Backdoor Flash. So essentially there is a upgrade that lets you quickly flash to the left and the right, and there are doors that have pressure plates on the ground that stops you from going through them. And the idea normally is that you flash shift over the pressure plate, but if you use bomb jumps, you can stay in place in the air long enough to get through, as you just saw.
Yep. And the timing for that is usually 180 BPM. It's very common for people to use metronomes or just songs that run 180.
It's 150.
150. Oops. Maybe that's why I never get it.
So we're going to be seeing another new type of pseudo wave here. This one is, I don't know if it actually has a name, but basically we just hold it and then we unmorph, or we morph while we're holding a specific angle. And the way that Samus moves her body when she's morphing causes the shot to get released in a slightly different way than if we just released the shot. And so that will allow us to get the lobs.
right there, just pausing so that we can actually line up the angle easier. Right there was a water bomb jump where normally when you bomb underwater, it doesn't push Samus up very high, but the first one that you do on the ground pushes you up quite a bit. So for some reason, if you do a bomb jump on the ground while you're underwater and you unmorph in the middle of that, the next bomb jump you do, even in the air, if it's the next one, it will give you the full height instead of sending you nowhere.
Yep. And now we're on our way to kill Speed Emmy.
Flash shift making the movement much quicker to the door that we need to go through.
Yeah, flash shift is going to be our main mode of movement for basically the rest of the game. It doesn't have any startup, so it's faster in most situations than the speed booster, which we'll be getting next here from Speed Emmy. Spoilers. And it also, there's a lot of different ways you can chain it because there's a little bit of time between one flash shift and the next where you're able to like jump around or walk into a specific location or whatever. So it's really cool. We call those flash chains when you do the more complicated movement between flash shifts.
Yep. Another see you down, outer shell destroyed, squishy interior, burnt to a crisp. The little melee that Jay does there is just to get us closer to this door. Just saves like a minuscule amount of time.
And here we're going to see Speed Emmy down. That one is one of the more annoying ones because you have to hold a fairly specific angle to get it while it's crawling on the ceiling. And if you miss just like a few shots, it'll just come like a jet at you. And it can be a little scary. But Jay's able to hit all those shots and kill the Speed Emmy pretty quickly.
Now that Samus is going even faster, mind if I cut in a little bit?
Sure.
Because I have two amazing donations. The first one came in from Pauline for $200, and it came in with no comment. But I really want to thank you for your generous donation.
Thank you.
And Railcoon also sent in $250, and they say, I need to keep this short because I'll get too sappy, and that's what the finale is for. But you all are amazing, and I'm so overjoyed at how this event has been going so far. We need to meet boobs %. More shoved to content is always great content. And legitimately, we are less than $500 towards upgrading our boobs. We need to get there, and I think that we all want to upgrade to boobs % and upgrade our boobs. I think that's a good time. Let's get there, y'all. I see chat calling for a 45-minute dono train, and I think we can do that. Let's get a $5 donation train going at 45 minutes, and I still think that we should be giving the Emmys wrong answer only names.
Let's get those boobs upgraded.
Let's get those boobs upgraded.
Boobs upgrade for Samus. When is that happening?
What power would that give her?
I don't know.
She's too powerful already.
Yeah, it might make that's the easy mode. But yeah, so you saw Jay do some tech there with the speed booster. That might look a little weird to you if you've only ever played the older Metroid games, but the speed booster is very versatile in this game. You can wall jump during speed booster, you can jump, you can morph and unmorph. Just a lot of different things you can do to keep your speed boost going through a variety of terrain, and so we call those speed keeps. There's quite a few that are intended, and quite a few that are like not really unintended, but just kind of like more freestyle. And so you'll be seeing a lot of those. Not quite as much as Flash Shift, because Flash Shift, like I said, is useful basically everywhere, but you will see a lot of speed boosters. And we just got Grapple Beam, which was, we could have gotten this earlier, but it wasn't really worth it because we have to come back to Artaria anyway to do this next trick called Screw Attack Short Boost. So the short boost is a technique that happens when you flash shift into a wall or a ledge and you kind of stop it early by crouching, and then you start walking again after like half second or so. That will make it so that Samus kind of starts like continuing the flash shift backwards while walking forwards. And that allows you to store a shine spark in a smaller space of time than otherwise.
Intended.
Yeah, than intended. In addition, you're also going to see a technique called map lag. Basically, when you open the map and you move the camera to a different area than the one that you're in, and then you unpause, there'll be a few frames of lag. And during that extra lag time, it basically gives you more time to store a shine spark, because it'll see that you're walking for like a few more frames, but it won't actually push you off the ledge, so you can store a little more freely, like you saw there. And this was very good. Just getting that second attempt is very, very good.
Yes, that is one of the one of the tricks that defines how long a run takes sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. And then another water bomb jump to get out. Go ahead.
41K, I'm gay, y'all. 41K, I'm gay. We are doing
41K,
amazing.
I'm gay.
Less than
41K.
$200 to upgrade our boobs. We can do it.
That's awesome. This is getting, we got Screw Attack quite a bit sooner than you would in a casual playthrough, and the big thing this is going to let us do is let us skip a section of the game called Frozen ZDR. I'll call it out when the big turn happens where we get to go in a different direction, but the other big thing that Screw Attack does is it basically trivializes non-boss combat. Like, you can just rip through stuff. You don't need to worry about like shooting them or walking around and whatever. You just Screw Attack through things and they just die instantly.
And even some of the early bosses, it also trivializes.
Yes, you will be seeing the Aranea Robo pretty soon, and that will be making use of almost exclusively the Screw Attack.
Yep, we call that one Quiet Robo because it's where we meet Quiet Robe, the Chozo. I hope nothing happens to him.
Cool speed keep.
Yep.
Jay was
No luck with these
looking
today.
to get a shine spark there, but unfortunately didn't quite come together.
Yep.
That's okay.
This game really gives you a lot of terrain to play around with, and so many like places to keep speed through have been found.
Yeah, you can even like start a speed keep from like one side of Dairon and keep it through the entire area and just like arrive at the other. The other. What do you call them? Tram.
Yes. Which is more or less, I think, the plan right now. Since I believe we're heading back to Aranea now. We're going to Aranea first. Yes. To meet Quiet Robe.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. The flash change to do a single wall jump is like one of the slickest things in this game. Every time I see it, I get impressed because I'm not very good at it.
It really is an upgrade speed-wise over single wall jumps with the morph ball, which is great. It's also easier.
To some.
To some. Now we're heading up into Aranea. We're going to get a glimpse at one of the last Emmys that we fight, the Wave Beam Emmy. And I say a glimpse. I don't even know if we get that. I think we skip the cutscene.
We skip the cutscene and then we don't go into the room where the Emmy is frozen. But we are going to see another nice little speed keep if Jay can get it. There was a little bit of a flood movement there, so unfortunately, we're going to have to take the grapple beam. It only loses like a second.
Yep. So coming down through here is where you would normally meet Wave Emmy, but we skipped it, and now there was a really long cutscene that played, and now we're just going to Screw Attack this little robotic Chozo until he goes away.
Yeah, so that was a boss fight, what happened just there. The Screw Attack is so powerful against these early game bosses.
Yep. Running into a fan here with Speed Booster turned on. Lets us sort of charge it in place. Head back into Dairon. Something that happened during all those cutscenes is that a part of Aranea changed. So now we can go to more places.
Yes, it also deactivated the Emmys. So for a little bit, we're going to be free of the Emmys. Not going to get chased around by the Ice Emmy when we get to Gavaran.
We also activated an upgrade because we have achieved that upgrade to boobs % for our next run, y'all. That is fantastic. Chat is going wild. Like this is absolutely amazing to see. And I mean, I did get a $5 donation that from Michael April David that says, choo choo, here's to this family joining the train to upgrade our boobs. And we did get to upgrade our boobs.
Hooray.
That's awesome.
Oh, almost.
Bogey.
Skipped off the cup that time. It's really the worst way to fail it because you're even slower getting into the water.
That was the end of the golf. Everybody clap for the golf game.
Now
It's the best golf clap I've ever heard.
We're headed back to Aranea now. Now that the Quiet Rogue cutscenes and that trivial little boss have been dealt with, we'll be heading through here with Speed Booster, so it'll be a little quicker. We don't have to go through this underwater section.
Beautiful.
Yep, we'll see how far we can keep this. This is one of the longer, more involved speed keeps. Yep. Just movement through Aranea, using flash shift everywhere, chaining it together everywhere we can. You get 3. It's 3 tops, and then you have to recharge, but thankfully you just recharge at any time. Here's another DT double turnaround pseudo. Some quick movement using the grapple beam to avoid those enemies. They are really annoying.
That was like a perfect Aranea.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And she'll take us up into Gavaran, where nobody is waiting for us because all the Emmys have been turned off. Hooray!
Mm-hmm.
Thanks to Quiet Rogue.
They've all been turned off, right?
Oh,
we turn those
yeah.
off? Oh, okay.
It happened during the cutscene, which you skipped. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what we're here for, to fill you in on the lore that Jay skips.
Yeah. Lots of animals in Gavaran. Kind of a jungle.
Can we save them?
Don't hold your breath.
We'd like to, but it's not Samus's fault. It's really Ravenbeak who sets the self-destruct sequence. But yeah, here you see again, using this Shine Spark. Shine Spark will kill almost anything in 2 hits. So by Shine Sparking, you take the robot down to half damage, then we're able to just screw attack it again. And then you saw a little frozen Emmy there in the background.
It's powered off. Much like Adam there.
Yeah.
He's busy.
Still waiting for us in Arcaria.
I love calling it out because we see him so many times, and it's just so many times we don't have to talk to him.
You know, I just realized if we had to go back to Frozen Artaria, we would have to see him again there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we would. Well,
instead we're getting super missiles.
Isn't that blocked off by the ice?
No, because that's you go that way for Mercury Steam %.
Oh, yeah.
We now have super missiles, which allow us to open those green plates on the doors. They're so very helpfully color-coded. Green for super and red for just normal missile doors. We'll be seeing mostly just super doors throughout Gavaran, even though we'll have them for the rest of the game. There's no reason we couldn't see more of them, for example, in the area we're going to. But we won't.
Yeah, generally a missile door means that's you're on the way to an upgrade, so that's why they have the normal missile door on a lot of stuff, but there's really not that many places that are locked by super specifically. The main thing that super does, aside from opening some mandatory routes, is that it's a damage per second upgrade, just slightly, and it's an ammo efficiency upgrade by a fair amount. So your missiles, you shoot them slower, but they do a lot more damage, basically.
Now in Elune, or Ellen, or however you want to say it.
Elon.
Some people say it that way. Here, we skipped a cutscene where Samus sort of enters a vault, gets scanned, and then a door closes behind her. Skipped another cutscene there. The X are out now, but only in here, in this little vault. Thank goodness. It would be sort of an ecological disaster if they got out.
For more information,
Yeah, that would be pretty bad.
Yeah. Another regular missile door to get up and acquire the plasma beam, which lets us open the other green doors in the game, such as the one on the left there.
You know, it is weird that they give us 2 green upgrades to our weapons back to back.
Right in a row. Yep.
What's up with that?
Plasma beam, of course, is another damage upgrade, but it does 2 other important things for your damage. Number 1, your shots can now pierce enemies, your normal beam shots, and they will eat through metallic armor, which is why we're not doing Charlie's for this guy. We're just shooting him a lot.
Yeah, so you also notice that Jay is mixing in missiles through the mashing. You just like tap R while you're either holding turbo or mashing, and you get a missile in between the streams. That basically, again, is another way of like doubling up your damage because you get the missile, and then when the missile is on cooldown, you are getting the mash.
Yep. And now we exit the vault, which opens the door. Oh no. The X are free.
Yeah, I don't know if anyone caught that.
Yeah, the door was unfortunately opened from the vault because Samus wanted to leave. And this has triggered an ecological disaster, the scope of which we will see for the entire game now. Pretty much any non-robotic enemy we fight from here on is just an X. And that cutscene there was Quiet Robe with the wonderful Chozo who turned off all the Emmys, getting copied by the X parasite and turning back on the Emmys.
Oh no.
Why'd he do that?
All of the good things that were happening are now bad.
This is going to cost us so much time.
Do you mind if I cut in for a second? Because I have a very interesting incentive that has opened up.
Oh?
It literally just says, this incentive crashes the stream.
Oh,
All right.
And it
Seems
literally absolutely seems absolutely fine and normal. And I'm just getting word, we dare you to donate to make Shut to crash the game and the stream all at once. And we get to meet a character called Her Royal Wideness on the way. So, y'all, I think we need to get some movement on that. So that is a $5,000 goal. But if y'all get those donations in, I know that we can meet it. We met our boobs very, very quickly, and I'm really happy I got to say that sentence.
absolutely. Get those donations in now.
The ice
so here,
Emmy, similar to the speed Emmy, it crawls on the ceiling towards you. It moves. It also moves very fast. Despite not being a speed-based Emmy, it is similarly fast to the speed Emmy.
yeah, we really do see it for such a limited time here. It turned on, and so very shortly, we turned it back off. As you saw with the central unit fight, our damage strategy has changed once again. Pretty much every shell for the rest of the run will be popping with the speed booster, and we'll be hitting the squishy inside with a screw attack. Each of these instantly breaks the phase and ends the fight in 2 hits.
Just another way in which getting the screw attack early is very powerful.
Absolutely. Now that we have ice missiles, thanks to the ice Emmy, we can now freeze enemies, which comes up almost never. It's very hard to do because they also do a lot of damage. So most of the time they just kill whatever you're trying to freeze. Besides
Thanks
that,
to that ball spark, that was really tight.
yep. Some movement down to the green teleportal. The other thing that the ice missiles do, which you've seen, is those like little fire red trees that normally burn Samus and prevent her from passing, even with invulnerability frames. We can now just remove them with ice missiles, cool them down.
which is going to open up a shortcut to Gravity Suit. Normally, you would need to go through this really, really long water section. You can make that water section a little faster with Screw Attack, but even better than doing that is using the Ice Missile to break down some of these Enkis, as they're called, in this hidden path here.
We really do love our hidden paths. So at the bottom here, we gain access to an energy part and also a speed puzzle. This is one of the main places that the game naturally encourages you to do speed keeps, and we actually skip a store right there by flash shifting over there. And now we're going to pull the plug on Aranea.
And not this blob and not this blob, but this blob is the reason why we need Diffusion Beam. That one is hard-coded to require Diffusion Beam. Even, I don't think we have a good pseudo angle on it anyway, but even if we did, we wouldn't be able to bypass it without the Diffusion Beam, so that's why we need to fight Kraid.
That is the entire reason we don't, need Diffusion Beam for anything else. And now we're purple.
Just a purple.
Or purple.
Best color.
Soon our beam will be purple too.
Oh,
True.
spoilers. So
Wait,
Samus
hold
with the
on.
gravity suit can now move normally through the water as though it were air. He's also immune to cold.
Yeah, so this is the point where we skip the frozen ZDR section. Normally, you would have to go right from here, and that would take you to a trigger that freezes ZDR. But because we have Screw Attack already, we're able to go straight up from here, skip that entire frozen section, and make our way back to Gavaran.
And that is truly a massive skip. Going through there encompasses walking through all of Artaria, from the very left to the very top right, and then some of Cataris, and then fighting a boss. So instead of doing that, we're just going up here.
Yeah, and you saw Jay kind of manipulating the robos to be on the top platform together so that the plasma beam would pierce through one robot and onto the next one, so you'd be able to, again, a way of doubling up damage by having one shot hit two enemies.
Taking the green teleportal back.
Yep. Next boss fight. This is kind of like the big boss fight after boss fight part of the game. We got Golzuna. Golzuna is a big crab guy. Comes in 3 phases. The first phase is just a regular Musby. Jay's going to just shoot straight through that. And then after that, they're going to be doing a method of what we call the 4-spark Golzuna, where we use the speed booster to break the 3 phases. I'm sorry, actually it's 4 phases. So we have this Musby. Now we're going to start speed boosting in such a way that the speed booster will kill that enemy as soon as it spawns. And then the 3rd phase, we shine spark into it as it's forming, then store another spark using map lag to make it a little bit more lenient. And that's going to take it to the core X phase, where we just shoot it out of the way so that we can store one more time and kill it there. So that boss fight can go awry in a lot of different ways. You just mess up any part of that because you're kind of manipulating it to be in specific places at specific times in order to get the 4 sparks.
Yep. And it is an absolute time sink. It has quite a bit of health. If you don't get all of the speed boosts off, you can see even the 3rd phase there took 2 speed boosts to kill.
Also, I want to point out something. If you see me morphing where I should slide, it's to skip the item tutorial cutscene, because we never got it, we never went through it, and we're not going to go through it, hopefully, throughout the entire game.
There's a wonderful little cutscene when you slide through where we would have met Elaine at the start, but instead we broke the blob with the very first pseudo wave, where the game informs you that sometimes not everything is as it seems, and sometimes the map will tell you that there are blocks hidden in an area. And that dialogue will appear anywhere it can, anywhere that one of those boxes on the map exists while you're sliding. So our goal is to avoid all of them. Another Atom room we skip. Goodbye. Still waiting in Artaria.
Well, while we don't have to hear Adam's words of toxicity, can I share some words of love for you?
Sure.
because John sent in a $10 donation, and they say, I wanted to say thanks to Jay for all of the amazing work they've done for the Dread community, like the in-progress load remover. I also wanted to remind folks watching at home that the scan visor is useful for gathering information. Smiley face.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
So coming up in Aranea is another pretty big recent discovery. It's going to be the Storm Missile Skip. The first thing that Jay is going to do is make use of a technique called ledge warping. Basically, you can think of the Morph Ball and the unmorphed Samus as like being two different characters in a game, sort of like Donkey Kong 64. And when you switch between them, certain things about the state of one or the other get saved. That's kind of the reason why Water Bomb Jump works. And what Jay is going to do is, after getting to this other side of the area, is going to store a ledge warp inside the Emmy Zone, leave the Emmy Zone, and then warp back into the Emmy Zone. And what this is going to do is make it so that the Emmy is not spawned. This is useful because the trick that's going to happen here is very difficult, and so we want the Emmy to not be in the Emmy Zone so that
And there it is.
so that it's not in our way. Yeah. And so the reason why that works is because when you enter the Emmy Zone without actually going through the door, it doesn't spawn the Emmy.
Yep, that door is what makes the Emmy appear. It determines where it appears, so it won't. Now the goal is to get to the Wave CU. Normally, we have to do a long go-around. We have to fight a boss called SQ and get storm missiles and hit a storm missile block somewhere to the left, and then we would finally be able to come this way. But using this new trick where we skew Amos's angle slightly, it lets us shoot beams through terrain, and because the door we're actually trying to hit is in a different room, we have to shoot this and then very quickly run to the other room.
Yeah, so we prefer to call it a tilt rather than a skew, because a skew is what we do when we move it around the z-axis. We're moving it around the x-axis.
Yes.
Or the y. However that works.
Yeah. So really, we're just tilting Samus so that the angle works out just right for us to hit this door cover from the other side, which will open it. It's one of those permanent open after getting a charge beam to unjam it doors. A very precise lineup. Jay is actually using the door frame there as a visual reference. So with each one of these attempts, they're shoving the arm cannon through the wall, and with the tilt, it gives it just enough. There we go. To open the door once we go to the other room. And now that that's done, the entire go-around section where we would normally fight SQ, get star missiles, and do an entire loop through like the entire eastern half of Aranea doesn't happen anymore. Another wonderful flash chain up the wall into a speed boost, which will let us break the shell on the central unit. And then we have to do a bomb jump there because we don't actually have any jump upgrades. That's how we gain height.
There's only one CU fight after this, and it will be even faster somehow.
Yep. So here we shoot this button, which does nothing but lower this platform very slowly, as well as the water.
Fun fact, you actually can shoot the button a second time and it will stop the water from lowering, which will make the Emmy move slower, so you'll have like more time to shoot it. However, it also means that it takes longer to get to you, so it's not actually faster to do.
It's faster than the other intended way to do this, which is to basically go through an obstacle course. So here, we're just kind of manipulating the Emmy to go.
All right.
Ooh, that's tough.
That should have got through. I don't know what the deal
Yep.
was.
Wave Emmy is one of the final Emmys, so the parries on Wave are especially difficult. Another chance to see the button, though.
While we run back to that, Emmy, do you mind if I call out some of these amazing donations that we have going towards crashing our stream?
Crash it.
Crash it. I love it. I have some lovely large donations, like this $100 one from Omar T. Byrne, and it has no comment, but thank you so much for your generosity. And also, Anonymous sent in a $250 donation with no comment as well, but again, thank you for your generosity. And it's just awesome to see this because we have gotten about 10% of the way already in our $5,000 incentive to crashing the stream. So we are moving, we are schmoving, and we are gonna be going and getting that stream crashed.
Let's do it. Yeah, Wave is really tough. It's one of the last Emmys, so that the sort of parry cutscenes to deal with it are really tight compared to some of the other Emmys. In my opinion, only matched by speed.
Yeah, Jay kind of messed up the movement there a little bit, so opening up a path to go backwards, give them a little bit more room to shoot this Emmy. This Emmy's faceplate is also one of the longest, I think it might be the longest to shoot.
It takes so long. Get to see a short bit of the obstacle course, though. The intended route is that you perform all of that and then go up and around, and then over some of the pressure pads, which you kind of have to do slowly because otherwise the Emmy will go the wrong way. And all of that effort allows you a nice long runway strip to shoot the Emmy normally. So by shooting it down here, we avoid all that.
And we have the actual wave beam, so we're not going to be needing to do any more pseudo waves.
Yep, no more clipping Samus's arm cannon through terrain to shoot things that we wouldn't normally be able to without Wave Beam, because we have Wave Beam. Nothing pseudo about it. With that, we'll be heading out of Aranea now that we've destroyed Wave Emmy. We don't really need storm missiles, so that's it. We're heading up to Hanubia. You know, now that we get a close look at her, Samus really does look like a bug in this game, doesn't she?
I've certainly seen less buggy looking people. So, we're talking about how it's weird.
Samus like we pet the bugs?
Of course. She's a bird and a bug.
We are also only $8 from 42K, y'all.
Oh,
let's do
Very
it.
Nice.
And we have passed 42K. Thank you all so much. 42K, I'm gay, y'all.
42K.
I'm gay. So what happened during that cutscene was the CU fight. The orange Emmy is now dead. You can see it sitting in the back of this fight where we were so rudely interrupted by this red Chozo. And now we get to claim our prize.
So, fun fact about that boss fight, on Switch 1, it's one of the laggiest I think it might be the laggiest room in the entire game. Like, it runs at like 15 frames per second. But on Switch 2, it runs at a stable 60, just like the rest of the game.
I think it is actually competed by the other place where you fight a red Chozo.
True.
Down
Something about the
in
red Chozo.
Something about the red Chozo. The place they pick, they really stack up every advantage. Yep. They have power bomb there, just to space things out correctly. It makes it so that the robots there don't all die to the power bomb that we lay, because enemies destroyed by power bomb cannot give power bomb refills, which we need to get through this area quickly. You can see
another
coming up
little-
from the bottom, it's all missiles and energy.
Another little nuance about the power bomb is that its explosion will persist through rooms, but the charging of the power bomb will not. So we tend to lay power bombs right before the room transition into the next area.
Yep. We passed through another Atom room. He didn't talk to us. He's still in Artaria.
I think we're gonna get a shield skip. Perfect.
Yep. No need to break the shield if you simply do enough damage that they put it away.
And that was the last of the Chosen Warriors, unless you count the ultimate Chosen Warrior, Raven Beast.
Samus. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I guess we'll find out.
Only one can survive.
It's time for Samus, famous for morphing into a ball, to get into a ball, to go meet somebody.
Now, if it were me, I would morph into the ball to be a ball in a ball, so that I can have more ball per ball.
I think it would
guess
be
same
kind of
chair.
uncomfortable. This chair doesn't look like it would sort of seat you very well.
You don't think it would, well, I mean, what about Metroid Prime Pinball? I think that she likes getting kind of pinged around.
Much to think about during that very long ball ride up to our favorite place. Because it's where we end the run.
Yeah, we didn't get any jump upgrades throughout the run, so we're going to get a Shine Spark to get up to this area. And we're on to fight Ravenbeak, who was actually Adam the whole time. So that we don't feel bad about ignoring Adam. It was actually Ravenbeak. He deserves no sympathy. For this first phase of the fight, we're going to use cross bombs and beam spam and missiles in order to, or just missiles and cross bomb, in order to get enough damage that he does a scripted counter. During the scripted counter, we're going to use beam spam to do enough damage that we don't have to go through the phase of the first part of the fight called the gold armor. We call that gold skip. Second part of the fight, it's pretty much just pure damage output. When he does an attack, you try and just avoid it. For this laser attack, if you do a dash melee and then aim, Samus will get into this like position where the beam spam on his part will go underneath or go over you, and you can continue beam spamming him. Third phase is pretty similar to the first phase, except for the cross bombs don't do extra damage like they do in phase 1, so we're not going to be mixing in cross bombs. Instead, we're just going to be weaving missiles and normal beam.
Yep. We skip a cutscene there. Normally when you counter bosses and then shoot them, they love to do a little cutscene where they can't die, they can just take damage, and usually at a reduced rate.
And that's Ravenbeak.
And that's Ravenbeak. At this point, Ravenbeak asks, "Who's Metroid?" And he gets a very unfortunate answer.
Well, it's not him. He's Crave.
Yeah, he's
No,
Crave.
he's Crave
We are
now.
the Metroid.
And we're Metroid, the strongest Chozo warrior.
Samus was the Metroids we met along the way.
Definitely. Now, in honor
Absolutely.
of community member Hobbit, I want to ask everybody, what flavor do you think Samus's Hyper Beam is? Like, I would think it's watermelon flavor.
Great.
Peppermint.
I don't know. I'm still undecided.
I think it tastes like death.
Not really sure what that tastes like. Haven't had it yet.
I was going to say, what is the flavor of death, though?
Yep. Little morph bomb jumps through here because despite being at the end of the game, we can't double jump.
Yeah, it's this escape sequence also where it doesn't let you use any of your Aeon abilities, so we don't have flash shift. So the movement kind of becomes like it was at the beginning of the game, where you're relying on morph balls to fall faster, little sliding off of ledges to get to the ground faster, quick rises on ledges.
Meleeing in certain places. Nice.
Very nice.
Here we're going to charge up a Shine Spark But instead of releasing it there normally, we transform into a ball first because there's a cutscene where she just takes longer to shine spark. If you're not in a morph ball.
Time's coming up.
As soon as we get
out of
outside.
this section. As soon as we get outside. And time.
GG's.
Well done.
What was the time?
I'm just waiting for it to come up on my thing, and I'm looking at about 1:13:57.
Really? That's very good
Wow.
with Belly.
It's a very respectable
I
time,
was
especially with the
looking
crane.
at your estimate and looking at your time, and that is amazing.
All right, so I'd like to give a few shout outs. First of all, to GDQ and Lambda Legal for doing very, very important work. To my commentators, to community members, especially Adnolium, Hobbit, Manager, Lab Member, Mr. Miguel, Metro, and Metroid fan. I'd like to thank our Trick Labbers and Pioneers. I'd like to thank my spouse, Shell. And I'd just like to say something real quick. You are enough. Even so, surround yourself with people who will encourage you to be the best you can be. You deserve nothing less.
It's beautiful.
I don't think the animals survived.
I don't think they did.
Oh no.
All right, well, see you next mission.
And before we see you next mission, where could the wonderful people find you if they would like to see more of your amazing content?
J_Yeen, YEEN, is my Twitch channel. And I'm jayena at highjump. Jayena.highjumpboots.com on Blue Sky. Would y'all like to give yourself a shout out?
Sure, I'm at Aranea Charlotte.highjumpboots.com on Blue Sky.
And I'm not on anywhere, really.
Even so, thank you so much for that run. That was